Good afternoon, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I want to share a quote with you by Oscar Wilde, and the quotation says, "The truth is rarely pure and never simple." So the truth is rarely pure and never simple. And the reason I'm bringing this quotation up today is because I want to talk to you about truth and what our thoughts are on them, how we think about them in society, and what our opinions are. But it's interesting. I'm interested in the truth, and I think most of us are at some level, and certainly when it affects us personally. Is this the truth? Is it a lie? And of course, I've worked with patients for many years, and in that time, sometimes a patient will say something and I hear something from their mouth, but I'm also feeling or sensing something energetically from them. And I'm sure you've gone through situations like this, even with friends. You ask them how they're feeling and they say good, but you don't feel that they're feeling good. And so you think that they've probably got some reason that they don't want to say how they're feeling. Or if you're a really good friend, you might feel, wow, wonder why they won't tell me. We're such good friends. What would they be hiding from me? Why would they need to hide anything from me? Whatever way, as a practitioner, I know I had one patient that stands out right now who I had seen for many years and developed a really good therapeutic relationship with. And I felt she was very, very comfortable in sharing anything and everything with me. And surprisingly, I started getting this same sense that even though she was saying everything was great and she was coming in for health promotion and wasn't working with a particular condition, she would say everything is great. And I'd tell her, you know, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm picking up grief on you. And as most of you know, I'm particularly sensitive to grief around me and certainly in my patients and aware of the emotion of grief. It resonates with an awareness that I have. So I asked her for, I have to say that I think it was many months, but it could have been a couple of years. And every time that I saw her, and she was a regular patient in terms of her appointments, she'd come in regularly and always on time and always pleasant and always pleased, sharing good things with me. And I would always ask her, are you sure there's nothing that's going on that's bringing up some level of grief? Well, it took that much time before she finally came in and said, Hanifa, you were right. Something major has happened. This has happened in my relationship. And I remember being both incredibly sorry for her experience, and incredibly relieved that something that I was picking up was actually there and that she felt comfortable enough to finally share with me. And that's one of the things that I've learned, that with truth, there's no judgment about when she decided to tell me because it was the right time for her. And that's the one thing that oftentimes we start missing or forgetting or not paying attention to in closer relationships because we think we deserve the truth right now when we want to hear it. So a few years ago, I had come across a book that taught me some information that I know I've shared with a number of clients already, but I'll share with you today because I think it's a very useful tool to think about. Um, in the legal system, actually, you might know this term. We've all heard it, right? It's the oath at the beginning of some trial where the person will be asked, do you swear to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And the person will say yes. And, most of us think that's just something that, of course, people are going to say yes, that they're going to say the truth, and they may or may not. But of course, everything happens or is developed by a certain thinking or awareness too. So, do you know that this actually has a huge history behind it? If you think about what does that mean? The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So, if I ask you if you went to the mall today and I had asked you to go to the mall, and I asked you, did you go to the mall today? And you say yes. I had asked you to go to the mall and come right back. And unless I ask you, did you go anywhere else after that? And you say, oh, yes, I went to my friend's house because I needed to drop off this. Oh, okay. So you didn't go just to the mall and back as you said you were going to do, but, and then you didn't say that even though I asked you if you went to the mall, but it was the truth that you did tell me that you did. You just didn't tell me the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So I went to drop off some stuff, was the little bit of additional information. But maybe there was nothing to drop off. The fact was, it just went over to visit a friend. There was nothing really to drop off. Now, most parents know this sort of strategy with their kids. So when a child is asked about something like this, did you go to school? Of course, right now everyone's at home for school, or most people are. But did you do this? And when they make this long story, I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this, and then this, and they get lost in the story that they're telling you, and you're recognizing you're not really answering the question. So it's not the whole truth and nothing but the truth, right? So the child even can easily try to get you even lost in a number of different details about a story, which may be true, but it's not really nothing but the truth. So there might be some peppered in untruths in there too. So again, in that first example, it was to drop off some stuff is the simple untruth. And no big deal, right? But suddenly it makes it seem more important that it's good that the person went to the friend's house because they had to drop off some stuff. But this is how the legal system had created this idea of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now, today I'm all about self improvement, right? And I definitely want to make sure that rather than using this as a way to pick up on someone else's truth telling to you, which of course it can be used to do, if you're doing that from a loving space, that's beautiful. But try to do it for yourself too. How do you express truth? How is it that you are sharing your information? And again, there's lots of things that many of us, anyone who knows me knows I'm a talker, any of us could like talking about a lot more than just the question that's asked. But sometimes it's out of a nervousness, sometimes it's out of avoidance, sometimes it's out of fear of judgment, sometimes it is a lie. And for whatever reason, right? So, all of these extra things that can be happening at the back of our minds as we're expressing something different than just the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And for today, I would love for you to be mindfully aware of how you respond to questions because it makes a difference. Not so much, it might not make a difference. It's not a life and death experience for you to say the whole truth to someone or another. But in terms of understanding yourself, and understanding what your background fears or worries or anxieties are, it's a really useful tool to pay attention to how you respond to things. And if you like talking and you spend a lot of time talking, just like me, that's okay too. But it's also good to understand that because maybe that's coming from maybe a need to prove oneself or maybe a need for validation from an outside source. Anything that you're noticing about yourself is wonderful. This is how we improve in life, everyone. So, today, I will use my old school transform your mind and transform your life. I wish you a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.